G'day. So, after getting shot, I was back in town, just talking to my psychologist, and he told me about centering, because everything was triggering me, like I was shot by some cops, in an unlawful, unwarranted arrest attempt that the local magistrate said, and I quote, should have been dealt with a fine in the mail. Okay? So anyway, I got shot and maced. And after that whole experience, and I legged it through the forest afterwards as well for like 3 days and a few nights and stuff like this. After that experience, it was jittery for me walking past cop cars. I'd see a cop car and I'd almost like faint just at the sight of it. So the psychologist taught me to come to center, So like a lot of times we're in a discussion, we'll lean forward or we move back, like all this sort of stuff. We're like dodging reality. The point of coming back to center is because that's where the divinity is. So the crown chakra, the sky, the root chakra down to the earth, the heart chakra, beaming in that divine connection, that celestial connection thing. So then with the centering, this body that I inhabit, the spirit wanted to just stand in the straight, because I've published in that book of mine, that book that God got me to publish, Vocabulary Shift. So that book that God got me to publish, in the service or mission of that, mission, God had this body standing in the center of town. Like a king's guard, the guys in the red on the top and the black on the bottom, little black hat, I say little black hat, it's a big black hat out in Buckingham Palace, okay? Now their job's to stand still. It doesn't matter if someone dies in front of them, that's not their job. Their job is to stand still and guard. The job of the paramedic is to deal with the dead guy, okay? So, standing still for 3 hours, 4 hours at a time, what happens is the eyes go into vague out mode. You're just standing there, total stillness. Unblinking, unmoving stillness. People come up to you and they enter your bubble of influence, right? So your arm's length, right? That's kind of your zone of influence. When someone's inside of that zone, they want to interact with you. Now, it goes a few ways. So people walking past on the street, they're just walking past. The stillness, we're in this vagued out, unfocusing of the eyes. We haven't condensed the spirits around us into physical reality. It's by our choice that everyone else becomes physical, okay? So they're just clouds of potential energy. So you're wearing like red and blue. That kind of is corresponding to your to your aura, but it's also Chinese medicine will say that's a Tai Yang condition because red corresponds to the heart and small intestines, blue to the kidneys and bladder. Okay, so this is Tai Yang condition. So this is how we're taught diagnostics in the Chinese medicine. So someone's walking past, and we might be thinking some hot thoughts. Okay. Now, heat corresponds to the color red. So we're thinking something hot and heavy, hot-blooded. All of a sudden, someone walks past wearing red. That's because our subconscious summoned that into our reality, okay? For example, I went to talk to a lady the other day, and I was like, oh, is my lady going to be upset about me talking to this lady, okay? All of a sudden, some woman with black hair and a green stripe in her hair walks past. Now, green corresponds to the gallbladder and liver, which corresponds to boundaries. Am I about to overstep a boundary in my relation by talking to this woman that my woman doesn't necessarily feel comfortable about? Now, that woman was dressed all in black, so it's a grounded boundary violation, right? Because all I wanted to do is talk about, making cookies or something, right? However, it's a young woman, maybe my woman gets jealous, who knows, could be a boundary violation. But in our subconscious mind, we see, ooh, what's this we're picking up on? Okay, now, we're in the stillness routine. We're doing the stillness. Okay, you can just be meditating, you could be selling your wares, you could just be standing there. Whatever you're doing, you're existing in a place and that's totally fine. Okay, so someone wants to interact with you. They like the way you're dressed, the way you are, they think you're a statue, whatever it is they want to do. All of a sudden, they come into the reality and they turn so that their entire chakra system is facing you. Okay? There's now an energetic interaction. They now materialize, yeah? Because they've now entered a point of significance. So they're no longer just random people, random energies walking past that are just on their way through the realms. They're now grounded into this location and have engaged, okay? So now they're engaging. So now they've condensed their energy and they're grounding their chi. So that's making them more material and physical and real in this here now space time. So now that increases their significance in our reality because now we have to perceive what are they about, how are they going to interact. So that's right. So then they condense out of reality. So you are now dealing with a real spirit because everyone else was just kind of ghosting around. But now you're dealing with reality, someone who's actually present. Okay, so then we're in an interaction. So now anxiety comes up. Like we said, we were fainting because of the police car. It could just be an empty car and it was just faint, right? So now someone's here, we're having an anxious moment. Are they going to interact? Is it going to be a fight? Is it going to be a conversation? Do they like you? Do they not? Notice how I'm talking faster. Okay, but we're centering. In through the nose comes the breath of life. God breathed life into man through the nose. Inhale through the nose. When you're feeling anxious, you're less likely to have an attack. We're going to continue this in another video. Stay tuned, and blessings.